and the All Indiana Podcast Network. This is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hello, I'm Jeremy Jenkins, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 Podcast for Tuesday, September 10th. We begin with breaking news on the city's northeast side. One man is dead after a crash near Geist Reservoir. It happened around 11:45 last night on Molenkop Road near Fall Creek Road. Police on scene tell us the driver hit a utility pole. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. So far, the victim's identity has not been released, and police have not determined what led up to that crash. On the north side, one man is in critical condition after a shooting at a short-term rental that was on Carrollton Avenue. Police say it happened just after midnight Sunday, and just 3 months ago, a man was killed and 2 more hurt in a shooting at a separate short-term rental. There have been at least 145 complaints about these rentals since November of 2022.
Well, we ask that any owner of a short-term rental be cognizant of the individuals looking to rent from them, seeing if they're local, if they're a one-night stay, and again, reminding those owners that it is their responsibility of who stays in their residences.
The City County Council approved a new short-term rental registry program last month. It's meant to make it easier to find property owners and managers in cases of emergency. The program is voluntary until January 1st. After that, it will be mandatory. And now an update on a big story we've been following for weeks. The Indianapolis City County Council has moved forward in creating a special counsel to investigate. This comes weeks after allegations of sexual misconduct against Mayor Joe Hogsett's former top aide. News 8's Danielle Zolkowski reports.
The proposal will thoroughly examine and investigate allegations against members of the Hogsett administration and recommend policy changes and further action to address gaps in human resources policy and code, and recommends further immediate action. Council Vice President Allie Brown supported the proposal and spoke to News 8 about her support of Lauren Roberts dating back to 2019.
When you are ready to go forward and tell more of your story or tell more people, because my whole position is I cannot tell your story for you, but when you're ready, I am there to support you. So when she decided to come out and tell her story right this year, it was there I am. I'm there to support her.
Councilor Ron Gibson voted no.
I believe that a former U.S. attorney knows what to do here, and he's already started the process of making things right.
Councilor Derek Cahill abstained from voting.
I support finding the truth, but I believe we need the help of the General Assembly to modernize APRA to protect the victims in this case.
Many councilors chose not to comment about any of the ongoing headlines coming out of Mayor Joe Hogsett's office. Some did. Democratic Majority Leader Maggie Lewis spoke about the investigation.
It's important that we take the time to do a deep dive into what's taken place over the last few years. We think it's important that all of our team members feel safe, that they have an outlet to report any type of inappropriate behavior.
I think we all agree that something needs to be done, and particularly looking forward, we need to have the right tools in place and make sure this doesn't repeat itself.
Republicans supported the proposal alongside Democrats.
I think exactly what the proposal intends, which is to find out what happened. Who knew? When did they know? And better understand how we can fix what seems to be a bad culture here in the city government.
There was back and forth between members over amendments that ultimately did not pass, but would have allowed councilors to have more power to obtain potentially sensitive information. I'm Danielle Zolkowski for Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook for updates.
Mayor Joe Hogsett released this statement in response. I commend the City County Council for ensuring that their investigation as part of Proposal 287 will protect the confidentiality of any current or former city employee who was or may be involved in any claim of sexual harassment. I remain committed to working with the City County Council and the entire administration to make continued changes to our policies and practices, both those initiated by my administration and through this resolution. Republicans have responded to the mayor's statement. City County Council Minority Leader Brian Mowry had this to say.
Distasteful, and it really goes to show where his head's at with this whole issue and this whole systemic issue of this harassment that he's allowed to go on in the city for so long.
Switching gears to a lighter topic, the weather. Storm Track 8 says we're in for warm and sunny conditions today. Meteorologist Marcus Bailey has your News 8 Daily 8 forecast.
No threat for rain today, all right? It's a crisp start this morning, but we're actually a little better off now than where we've been the past couple of mornings. 56 degrees, calm wind, and the dew points are into the upper 40s. 51 Muncie, 50 in Kokomo, 50 Greencastle, 48 in Terre Haute, 50 in Richmond. Some of those areas I just called out were into the upper 30s yesterday, so it is a big jump. Mid-70s at noon, 82 at 2 o'clock. I'm going to go with a high of 86 later on today. That is running about 5 to 6 degrees above where we should be for this time of year, 10 shy of the record set back in 2013. All right, I want to go down to the tropics real quick. Down in the Gulf, we do have a new named storm. It is Tropical Storm Francine. 65 mile per hour sustained winds. It is starting to strengthen and organize a little bit. You don't see a true center of circulation or an eye or anything like that. But this has strengthened over the last 24 to 36 hours. It is taking aim on the coast of Louisiana and likely makes landfall within the next 36 hours. It's likely also going to become a hurricane at some point. Now, once we get later in the week, that track is going to go due north, and that puts us in the crosshairs for some rain opportunities. No threat for rain today, tomorrow, or Thursday. But late week and into the weekend, we really start to ramp up our rain chances. Like I said, it is some much needed rain, but the timing not great if you do have some outdoor interests here. We'll time out the rain opportunities in my Storm Track 8 forecast coming your way in just a few minutes.
To get a peek at the full forecast, just head over to wishtv.com, or you can download the Wish TV Storm Track 8 app. And don't forget to check out our Storm Track 8 weather blogs. And we wrap things up with a fun event outdoors. There will be some special guests at Victory Field as the Indians kick off their final homestand for the season tonight. The Indiana Fever will be joined by mascots Freddie Fever and Boomer. The Pacemates and High Octane Drumline are also set to perform. Tonight is also the final Tuesday Dollar Night at Victory Field. If you want to check it out, gates open at 5:30 and the first pitch is at 6:35. The Indians will take on the Rochester Red Wings this week. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 podcast for Tuesday, September 10th. I'm Jeremy Jenkins for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go, connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.